He has studied the functions of the liver and kidneys and says he has performed countless kidney transplants abroad. Now, urologist Dr. Byron Simmons says he is ready to start transplanting kidneys in patients in Belize. He says the KHMH has the infrastructural capacity to give patients suffering from renal failure an alternative to the very expensive hemodialysis treatment.
One, it's cheaper than dialysis. It's definitely cheaper. It has been proven over time. Two, kidney transplant offer longer life than dialysis. The average lifespan, obviously you have different persons that have different survival rates, but the average lifespan on dialysis is 5 years. Whilst if you were to transplant a living donor, kidney from a living donor, the expectancy of that kidney, not the person, but the kidney, is between 12 and 20 years. Wow. And moreover, the quality of life is exponentially better on transplant than on dialysis, because patients on dialysis are basically condemned to come 3 times a week to receive dialysis. Their general health deteriorates considerably, whilst a person on that has been transplanted basically goes back onto life and lives normally.
The same applies to pregnant women and children who have received kidney transplants versus those who have been on dialysis. Currently, there are 120 patients whose dialysis treatment is subsidized by the government and hundreds more waiting to get on the list. And for patients who have serious doubts about going under the knife, Simmons says that just like with most surgeries, there will be an element of risk, but kidney transplants are generally straightforward with a high success rate.
It would basically require 2 sets of surgical teams. Okay. One team that would do what we call the donor nephrectomy, or in other words, would remove the kidney from the person that's donating the kidney, and simultaneously in an operating room next door, we'd have the implant or the receptor surgery, whereby the second team, led by myself, would be preparing the patient, already advancing the surgery, whereby when the kidney is removed from the donor, we immediately receive it, prepare it, put it in a special preservant. In this case, we use a preservant that's called custodiol, and we prepare the kidney, and immediately after it's prepared, in a matter of minutes, we start to implant onto the receptor. And amazingly enough, with patients that have not ever produced urine for the last years or whatsoever, immediately as we implant the kidney, it starts producing urine.
So, if you need a kidney, who can be your donor?
They have to be compatible. And compatibility can be determined by siblings, parents, family members, uncles, so forth. Those are the more compatible. But anybody can be compatible. There's a possibility of being compatible once they have the same blood type. But very importantly, we can never compromise the donor's well-being by taking a kidney. So if suppose the donor is diabetic, hypertensive, or has a kidney disease, whereby they themselves might in the future have some renal problem, then we just don't take the kidney.
For potential future kidney donors, whose concern might be how much your health would become compromised if you donate one of your kidneys, Simmons says that is hardly ever a factor based on his external experience.
Donors tend to live longer than the population in general, because once they donate, then the medical system has a commitment to the donor whereby we follow them closely. Okay. So we make sure their cholesterol is always controlled, their sugar, their blood pressure, etc., etc. Well, by and large, the majority of us in the population, we don't even bother about doing regular checkups. While the donor, we make sure we follow them closely for the rest of their life, and they end up living a normal and natural lifespan, independent of one kidney.
The first patient scheduled to receive a kidney in March is an 18-year-old female. Her donor is her mother. Both have undergone all the necessary tests and have been cleared for the surgery. What has caused a delay in the procedure being performed before now is the high number of COVID hospitalizations that have forced every other aspect of healthcare onto the back burner. Now that the COVID numbers are once again on the decline, Simmons says he's looking forward to getting the procedure done as planned. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.